Salut Yanan et bienvenue au corps aujourd'hui. Alors, je suis désolé, I'm sorry, I can't be there today to do this lesson live. I'm currently driving to Wales to go to a funeral. I mean, not currently, I'm not recording this while driving, good as I am. That would be quite dangerous, but you know what I mean. I've recorded this in advance of today to make sure that you've got a lesson and you've got something you can look at. But in some ways this is good because I love the live lessons and it's great seeing you and doing it live, but this way you can come back to this lesson, you can practice it again. We don't have another lesson until Monday, so you might be like, before Monday's lesson on Sunday night, you might say, I'll just watch that bit of Mr. Ennis's lesson again to get the practice. So there is good things about recording it, but I will miss my Year 9 fix and Theo's football banter today. Alors donc, mes petits, ce qu'il faut faire. Let's get going today. Last lesson we looked at some jobs where you needed to use languages. We went through the jobs and we went through what you can do with the language, what you can do, what you want to do, and you have to do using our Jingle Bells verbs. Etc. So today I'm going to test you on that. I'm going to be testing you on those modal verbs. I'm going to test you on the vocab. We're going to start by like literally testing you on them. We'll do verbal volleyball to warm you up, then you'll do a vocab test at home, and then we're going to do some reading and listening today that put all of this together because we practice the language, we use it, we did a really good writing activity last lesson. Today I just want to push you out your comfort zone a bit and give you a harder reading and listening text where you'll have to work out some other vocab. So all of that is coming to you today. We start like we always do. So I've sent you the worksheet for today on email. You can either work straight on the Word document, save it on your computer, fine by me, or you can carry on and do this in your books. Either way, you know what to do. S'il vous plaît, mes petits, il faut copier les dates, il faut copier les titres. Et s'il vous plaît, vous avez un contrôle de post-it au-dessus de moi. See if you can translate these 6 phrases for me. I want all 6 today. Put me on pause, see if you can translate them. When you're ready to get the answers for the contrôle de post-it, restart the video and I'll go through them. Pause me now, you know. Alors mes petits, right guys, so if you listen to me now, you've got a date and title ready, you're sorted either on Word or in your books, and you're ready for our answers for the contrôle de post-it. How many did you get? I reckon you should get 4 of these. I've been cheeky and I've put like number 5 is a classic from last module, and then I've got number 6, a really tricky one again from last module, but something we're looking at again today. So today I'm testing you on the language you looked at last lesson, and we're understanding people saying how using languages helps them when it comes to their job in a reading and a listening. But first, it's all about knowing your core vocab off by heart, so you can actually use this in your writing assessment, in your speaking assessment, and when you go to France. So let's see what we've got. Le premier, I want to become, is je veux devenir. Remember, you've got to know that verb vouloir off by heart. That's what you need to know. I can speak, different verb is going to be je peux parler. What do we call that second verb, guys? Devenir, parler. What do we call it? Eliana, it's your weakness. It's an infinitive, the full form of the verb before it's been changed, or Hangmin would say, sir, before it's been conjugated. Conjugated is the proper term for it. I do apologize, Hangmin. Alors, numéro 3. I have to work. So, je veux is I want. Je peux is I can. Je dois is I have to. Donc, c'est je dois travailler. So, you could use this to say, je dois travailler en France. Donc, je peux parler français. That's the important thing, guys. Excellent. All right, so number 4. If one wants, no one could get this last time. Remember, none of you. So it should be si on veut. Now remember, on means one. We don't use one in English. If one wants to be a lawyer, because it's just an incredibly posh thing to do. I don't know anyone who says one apart from like the Queen. I don't know her. We don't rock in the same circles. So si on veut is if one wants. There's nothing posh in French about saying one. People just use it. It's like a general term for you. If you want, si on veut. All right, well done if you got that one because we found that tricky last time. This next one is a classic. We still have to go back to our module 2s and 3s. Pour être en forme, in order to be healthy. I hope you got that. And then I will do. What's the word for will? It's all about the ending. It's a regular verb. I bet none of you got this. Je ferai is what you should have. No chance you'd have got that. Guys, this is our post-it note challenge. This is some of the key vocabulary from last lesson and some earlier ones. What we're going to do first is let me test you on your vocab before we go into our vocab test. Alors mes enfants, before your contrôle de vocabulaire, let's get you warmed up. You know how verbal volleyball works, so you need to pause me, make sure you know all 15 of these. I'd have a practice first, so I'll go, si on veut être, if you want to be homme d'affaires, businessman, femme d'affaires, businesswoman, parler une langue étrangère, to speak a different language, essential, vital. See that? That's how it's done. I'd pause me and just have a little match up and make sure you know all of these, and then against your timer, set a timer on your phone, time yourself, see how quickly you can do this. I did it in 6 seconds just before, but it didn't record. Unlucky, you could have seen it. So 6 seconds will be the ideal time, but put yourself against the clock, see how quickly you can do this. Right guys, put me on pause, warm up, time yourself, and go for it. On the next slide I've made it a bit tougher, so pause me now, get warmed up. Alors mes petits, right guys, second slide, same thing again, but this time it is English to French. You need to do exactly the same. Put me on pause, have a little go through, and then time yourself, see how quickly you can get through these 15 words. Good luck, pause me now, get your practice up before our vocab test. Alors mes petits, right guys, that's a little warm up. We've drilled the 15 must knows, the 15 keywords, but you need to know more than that. Your homework, well, part of it was to be on Memrise and to be practicing this core vocabulary. Remember, this is Year 11 Module 7. I'm literally teaching the same thing to my Year 11s now, and they're really good at it. Why? Because they did the practice in Year 9. Practice now, and Year 11 will be even stronger. Let's see what you know. Alors mes petits, right guys, let's see what you can do. You've had your warm up, now it's time for the contrôle de vocabulaire. Now before we start this is ideal independence and learning for you. Do not use your book to look something up or to see what you've got. I'm in Wales, I have no idea what you've got. This is a test for you, and this is how to learn. To get good language, you've got to test yourself. What do you know, what don't you know? So la note d'admission aujourd'hui, which means the pass mark, is 8. I'll be really happy with 8. Any more is fantastic. If you don't get 8, good. Do you know what I mean? It shows you you're not sure about this vocab, and therefore you've got to be independent. What I do if I didn't get 8 is I'd stop the video, I'd go and Memrise, I just have 10 minutes of practice with this vocab, and then I'll come back. And you know what? You'll come back stronger and better for it, and you'll learn more. And that's what it's all about. So actually test yourself, Year 9. Let me explain how this works and what you need to do. Alors donc, c'est exactement comme ce qu'on fait normalement. Pour question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Qu'est-ce que c'est en anglais? Il faut traduire les phrases ou les mots en anglais. Pour question 6, 7, 8 et 9, c'est différent. Dans les 3 boîtes, vous avez les mots qui manquent. Il faut choisir un mot pour compléter la phrase. Par exemple, si on être interprète, that should be if you want to be an interpreter. So where's the word for want? There's a bit of a problem there, isn't there? Alors donc, il faut trouver le bon mot pour compléter la phrase pour moi, s'il vous plaît. See what you can do. Remember, you only use them once. Votre défi additionnel. You've got a nice extra challenge here. I'll give you 1 mark for you having a go if you're close. 2 marks as a bonus if it's absolutely perfect. Right guys, I want 4 minutes on this. Put 4 minutes on your phone, so time yourself, because without that you'll get distracted, particularly you, Shaye. So 4 minutes on your phone, see what you can do on this. Bon courage mes petits. When your 4 minutes is up, recommencer the video, restart the video, and I'll go through the answers. Bon courage mes petits. 3, 2, 1, allez, on y va. Alors mes petits, right guys, let's go through the answers. Donc, prenez un stylo rouge pour moi mes petits et on y va. Le premier, homme d'affaires, femme d'affaires, veut dire a businessman or a businesswoman. Your affaire is your business. Like if you have an affair, it's your own business. No, actually, forget that. Les hommes d'affaires, les femmes d'affaires is businessmen and businesswomen. A really good piece of vocab for you. Numéro 2, numéro 3. I put these together because people always confuse them. People always use travailler when they want to mean voyager. Do you know the difference between the two? Alors, voyager is to travel, and travailler is to work. You've got to know the difference between the two. So often people use travailler to travel. It's not the same work. They say like, oh, I'm going to work in France, and I mean I'm going to travel to France. Alors donc, voyager I'm doing it myself. Voyager to travel, travailler is to work. Alors numéro 4. Alors c'était difficile celui-ci. I bet you didn't get it. Alors rencontrer we had it last lesson with that Polynesian guy with the tattoos on his face. Rencontrer des personnes intéressantes. It means to meet someone. And if you have like an encounter with someone in English, it means you meet them. Rencontrer, an encounter, comes from the French. There you go. Right, guys, numéro 5. Apprendre de cultures différentes means to learn about different cultures. That verb there, apprendre, is the verb to learn. If you didn't know that, write it in your book now. It is such an important verb. You're going to see this at GCSE. Apprendre is the verb to learn. Just prendre on its own is the verb to take. So prendre, apprendre. Voila. So I always used to remember this. If you apprend something, you take it into your head. So apprendre, apprendre, prendre. Voila. Right, guys. So 5 down. Give yourself a mark out of 5 so far. 8's the target. I know you'd have dropped some marks here. That's fine. We're learning. We're talking about it. Alors, numéro 6 should say this. Si on veut être, si on veut être interprète, parler une langue étrangère est essentiel. Et ça veut dire en anglais, if you want to be an interpreter, speaking a foreign language is essential. Now it's got to be the v with the T, which is really harsh because they sound the same. So je tu, il est long. But it changes. You don't pronounce the X with the T at the end. They all sound like v, but on veut is V-E-U-T. Je veux is V-E-U-X. If you got that wrong, good. There's something you'll remember for next time. Alors, numéro 7 should be je veux voyager et plus j'aimerais rencontrer des personnes intéressantes, qui veut dire I want to travel. Voilà. I would like to meet interesting people. Alright, numéro 8. Si on veut devenir pilote, if you want to become a pilot, on doit communiquer avec les jeunes qui parlent en langue différente. Qui veut dire, if you want to become a pilot, then you will have to communicate with people who speak a different language. And then finally, Sutton est trop petit. Sutton's too small. Nous pouvons voir le monde si nous parlons une langue différente. So Sutton's too small. We can see the world if we speak a different language. Nice sentence there, guys. Right, add them up. The total's out of 12. 8 will be a good mark. You get 1 bonus mark for having a go at the extra challenge, even if it's a shambles. 2 marks if it's perfect. This is what you should have. Pour moi, parler une langue étrangère est essentiel. If you're close to 1 mark, if you're perfect, 2 marks. You could have put vital there as well, like vital. Guys, a really good effort here. Add up what you've got. Give yourself a mark on your work out of 12. And if you haven't got 8, then stop this video now. Go on, memorize, and just spend 10 minutes practicing this vocab and come back because we're going to move on to a tough reading activity and I need you ready. If you have got over 8, you qualify. Follow the video. We're going to go to some reading now. Alors mes enfants, right guys, let's get into the reading then. Let's see if we can understand real French people talking about their jobs and talking about languages. Alors, donc, il y a 2 activités à faire. Now, you'll need the Word document that I've sent you today on email. The cover teacher would have told you about it. And I put it on Teams. I want you to spend 10 minutes on this. Set a timer on your phone. Otherwise, this activity will drag. You'll get distracted. Do this in the time slot to make sure that you're the most productive you can be and that you're ready for period 3 and this isn't hanging over for you. So, there's 2 activities. Now, today, this is tough. I always say this when we're doing like live lessons, that it's harder to do it through the computer. It's even harder on a recorded lesson because I can't help you at all. So just give it your best and see what you've got. And just remember, we always do difficult GCSE work. It's good for you to be pushed and your French is getting good from it. But just remember, I don't want full marks. Do your best on this and see what you can do. And don't get discouraged if you find it hard. I find loads of French hard as well. It just takes practice to get good. Alors, so 10 minutes, let me explain the tasks. Alors voilà, ceci c'est le premier. You're going to read through 3 people and there's a lot of unknown vocabulary. So to help you out, so you can break down this text and understand it better, I've tried to give you some guidance. So see text A. It's an advantage you have to like in life. These words in that text. Cherchez dans le texte pour les mots ici en français. See if you can find them in French and write them in. And it will just give you like a bit of English and a bit of a greater understanding of this vocabulary. So you can have a go at our next activity. which looks like this. Et voilà, donc après avoir trouvé les mots, this is the activity you've got to do. So you've got Paul, Mahmoud, Christine, and Hubert, 4 people talking about their jobs in very advanced French. Donc, mes petits, ce qu'il faut faire. First thing I'd do, right, is I'd read through all those English questions because it will give you a nice overview, a synopsis, if you will, of what you're looking for. For example, number 1, you have to be curious if you want to work abroad. So I'm looking for a word that looks like curious. Number 2, you have to respect different cultures. We learn about different cultures, so just change it. See what I've done. So look through, read through the questions, et après avoir fait ça, il faut trouver la paire entre les 6 phrases et les 4 persons. Par exemple, numéro 1, qui dit? You have to be curious if you want to work abroad. C'est Paul, c'est Mahmoud, c'est Christine, c'est Hubert. Il faut lire les textes et écrire le nombre de personnes ici. That's activity 2, guys. Who says or who matches to these things? That is going to be tough today. Alors, right, guys, this is your extra challenge. Do you see all this stuff highlighted in red or underlined in red? It's not correct. So you have to correct these errors if you can. So let me give an example, right? Number 1 says, si on veut travailler avec les jeunes, if you want to work with people, parler une langue étrangère, ce n'est pas essentiel. If you want to work with people, speaking a foreign language isn't essential. I'm pretty sure you want to say it is essential. So how do you change that? Ce n'est pas to it is. And then it says, on doit détester le contact avec les autres. You have to hate contact with other people? I don't think so. Change one word to make the sentence positive and make it make sense. That is extra challenge only today. That is really difficult. Alors mes petits, right guys, I've explained the 3 different tasks. You just do your best today. I want you all to have a go at numbers 1 and 2. Remember, the 3rd one is pure extra challenge. Spend 10 minutes on it. When you're finished, restart the video. I'm going to go through the answers and show you how I found them. 10 minutes, put me on pause. Bon courage. Allez, on y va, mes petits. Allez. Alors, les enfants. Right, guys, if you listen to me now, you've had your 10 minutes or you've had enough and you want the answers. Let's have a little look. So, first one. The idea of this task was to break it down for you a bit. Hopefully it helped you understand what a very challenging text is what you should have. It's an advantage, c'est en plus. It's a plus, it's an advantage. You have to like on doit, aimer, doit means you have to, you must. In life is dans la vie. That word there, vie, is life. You've got to know it. It's so important. And French people use it all the time. There's 2 really nice sayings in French that go with vie that we use in English. First off, c'est la vie. When something goes wrong, people say c'est la vie. It means like that's life. Like it's like saying there's nothing you can do about it. Like things are sometimes that's life. C'est la vie. The other one, which is a bit more positive, is French people always say la vie est belle. La vie est belle, which means life is beautiful. And French people literally say this all the time. La vie est belle. It's a sunny day. They'll go, oh, la vie est belle. So life is beautiful. I love that one. La vie is your life. To buy and to sell in text B was acheter, which is to buy, and vendre, to sell. I think if you're a vendor, you sell things. Acheter, vendre. Voilà. Where you work is où on travaille. Curious and open, curieux et ouvert. If you've travelled, si on a voyagé. Remember, voyager is the verb to travel. Travailler sounds like travel. It's not. It's the verb to work. And then finally with them, avec eux. That is how you say that, EUX. I bet you were worried. Alors mes petits, right guys. So second thing you had to do was the hardest thing. Who says what? So my highlighting shows it away. But this isn't just about getting the answers. This is for you. If you've not got something right here, that's fine. We're going to break it down. If you don't know any vocab, write it down, record it, see if what you've got. Alors donc, par exemple, le premier, you have to be curious if you want to work abroad. I put that down here with Christine. She says, on doit être curieux et ouvert. You have to be curious and open, is what she says. Numéro 2, you have to respect cultural differences. Paul says that. He says, on doit aimer le contact avec les autres et respecter les différences. So Paul is your answer. That's a really important thing. There's loads of cultural differences. Even with a country like France, that's right next to us, and like there's always been there's been trade between France and Britain for like thousands of years, but like very different culturally. There's things they do that are different. You've got to respect. Alors, numéro 3. I buy, sell, and export products. That is Mahmoud. He says it here. His job is commercial export. He wants to be a commercial exporter. And then he says here, vend des produits dans la langue du pays où on travaille, and acheter. So you have to buy and sell products in the language that they work in. So if you are a seller and you can speak a foreign language, that's going to push your product forward because they know this. You're someone that they can work with. If they've got a problem, they can ask you about it. Or if you're just English, you might not get that trade. So c'est en plus, hein, c'est un avantage. Alors le quatrième, you can see the world if you speak a foreign language. Two of them said that, Mahmoud and Christine, but they've seen two different things. Christine says, si on veut découvrir le monde. Love that verb. It means to discover. Literally, dé is to découvrir is to cover. So to decover, you take the cover off, you discover it. Just like in English, I bet you've never thought of the word discover, but it means take the cover off. And if you discover something, you find something new. Alors donc, Mahmoud says it as well, on doit beaucoup voyager, et donc on peut voir le monde. So you have to travel a lot, and you can see the world. Theo, do you remember I taught you what World Cup was? You say the Cup of the World. La Coupe du Monde is the World Cup. France have won it twice. Theo, what years? 98 and 2017 now, 2018, the last one anyway. Donc numéro 5, you can meet new interesting people is Paul. It says here, on peut rencontrer des personnes intéressantes et de cultures différentes. And then finally, you can have a laugh in a foreign language if you speak the foreign language. That was Hubert in purple. Right guys, if you got into the extra challenge, it was so tough. There was a few different ways you can say it. I've tried to put the different ways up here, but this, every year I do this, and every year students are like, sir, I cannot do this task. So well done if you've had a go on our extra challenge. A brilliant, brilliant effort today, guys. Alors mes petits, right guys, so that's it. We'll come to the end of this recorded lesson. You have had a look at the vocab, and you've had a look at a text where you need to understand people talking about what languages they use and how they want to use it in their lives. So a really good effort today. I appreciate this is so much harder than like a live Teams lesson. I'll only do this today when I'm away, but yeah, hopefully you've worked really hard and hopefully you've taken something out of this lesson. Well done for working so hard. I'll set homework next week because I see you 3 times, and I'll see you on Monday. Looking forward to it already. Right guys, I know it's Thursday, but bon week-end mes petits, et merci, à lundi. Merci, au revoir.